I hope you all are doing great and preparing well for your PU board exams. So, in today's session, we will be looking at a method using which you can solve Bayes theorem questions in seconds. Yeah, this is going to be a very useful method which you can apply in your board exams as well. So, let's start today's session. So, first, let's understand Bayes theorem. So whenever a question related to Bayes theorem comes, first thing you need to do is identify the events. Let's use the standard notation which is used in our NCERT textbook. So the notation is E1, E2 and E3. So there are three events that you need to identify: E1, E2, E3. Then there is one more event that you need to identify as, that is A. Okay. So the method is very simple. It involves drawing a diagram. So let's look at that. So here we have got three events, E1, E2, E3. So we will have three arrows like this. One for E1, the other for E2, and the third one for E3. So here I'll just put E1, E2, and E3. And then again, I'll have to draw three arrows which will connect to A. Okay. So this is the first part. Then this arrow will correspond to P of E1. This arrow will correspond to P of E2, and this arrow will correspond to P of E3. P of E1, and this arrow will correspond to probability of A when E1 has occurred, probability of A when E2 has occurred, and this one will be probability of A when E3 has occurred. Okay. So yeah, half of the question is done. So coming to the next part. So now the question will ask us like this: probability of E1 when A has occurred. This is what is the question. So it is very easy. So let's understand how to find out the formula. Uh, just a second. Let me have a copy of this so that I can show you nicely. Okay. So now comes the formula part. So in the formula, you have two parts. One is the numerator and the other one is the denominator. So first, the numerator will be this part. Okay. So you just need to multiply this. This is the beautiful part of this method. P of E1, P of A when E1 has occurred divided by, in the denominator, again, it is easy. So you just have to multiply these two arrows and these two arrows. Write it in the denominator, and that's it. You have your formula for Bayes theorem. Isn't it easy? Yes, let me just complete. And the third term, P of E3, P of A when E3 has occurred. So all this is in your denominator. So let us quickly recap. So first step is to identify the events. Let us call them E1, E2, E3, and our main event, that is A. Okay. Once we do, we have to draw a diagram. So first, number of events. So here we have got three events. So I have got the three arrows. Then again three arrows that will connect to my A. Next, if the question is asking probability of E1 when A has occurred, so first thing is you multiply these two terms and keep it in the numerator. And for the denominator, you multiply all the arrows, meaning corresponding to each arrow, we will multiply and get the terms. So we will look at an example using which it will become much clearer. Okay. Yeah. So we'll look at this question. Okay. So what do we have here? So bag 1 contains 3 red and 4 black balls, while bag 2 contains 5 red and 6 black balls. One ball is drawn at random from one of the bags and it is found to be red. Find the probability that it was drawn from bag 2. So yeah, let's start solving this. So you have got bag 1. This bag has got 3 red and 4 black balls, and you have got bag 2. This has got 5 red and 6 black balls, right? So here our E1 is bag 1, choosing bag 1, E2 is choosing bag 2, and A is the red, getting a red ball. So how will be my diagram? So here as I have got two arrows, so I'll have two events, so I'll have two arrows, one for E1 and the other one for E2. Then again a connecting arrow for A. Okay, so this is my probability of E1, probability of E2. This is probability of A when E1 has occurred, probability of A when E2 has occurred. And they have asked us bag 2. The question is asking us probability of E2 when A has occurred. So I'll have to do what? Yeah, you are right. I'll have to multiply these two terms, and that will be my numerator, probability of E2, probability of A when E2 has occurred, and this is my numerator. For my denominator, I'll have to take both these, this one as well as this one. It will be probability of E1, probability of A when E1 has occurred, plus probability of E2 and the probability of A when E2 has occurred. That's it. You have to just put it in the formula. So probability of E1 is 1 by 2. Probability of E2 is also 1 by 2. And what is probability of A when E1 has occurred? So what is the probability of getting a red ball when you choose first bag? It is 3 by 7. And for the second one, it is 5 by 11. So I'll just put it in the formula. 1 by 2, 5 by 11, 1 by 2, 3 by 7, plus 1 by 2, 5 by 11. Solve it and you will get your answer. Okay. So it is basic calculation. So you can do. I think you have got the rough idea of how to apply this method and solve the question easily. Okay. You can try this question. This question is again similar question, and you can tell me the answer in the comment section. This is from your NCERT book only. Again, this is again an interesting question which you can try. So here, an insurance company insured 2,000 scooter drivers, 4,000 car drivers, 6,000 truck drivers. The probability of an accident are 0.01, 0.03, 0.015 respectively. One of the insured person meets with an accident. What is the probability that he is a scooter driver? So first step is to identify the events. So you have E1, E2, E3, and A, right? E1 is E1 is your scooter, E2 is car, and E3 is truck, and A is your accident. Once you are done with this, the next step is the arrow diagram. E1, E2, E1, E2, E3, and for accident. So this is your probability of E1, probability of E2, probability of E3. This is probability of A when E1 has occurred, probability of A when E2 has occurred, and this one is probability of A when E3 has occurred. And they are asking us scooter. That means we have to first multiply these two arrows, and in the denominator we have to multiply all the arrows. This is how you can solve. So here I'll just tell you what is probability of E1. E1 is 2000. So you have 2000 scooter drivers. Total drivers are 12,000, right? 2000 plus 4000 plus 6000, which is 12,000. Probability of E3 is 4000 divided by 12,000. And probability of E3 is 6000. Probability of E2 is 4000 divided by 12,000. And so what is your probability of A when E1 has occurred? 0.01. Probability of P, probability of A when E2 has occurred is 0.03. Probability of A when E3 has occurred is 0.1. Yes, You just need to uh, form the formula and substitute the values. What is the formula here? They are asking us probability of even when A has occurred. I'll first multiply these two terms for my numerator, P of even, P of A when even has occurred, and for the denominator, I'll multiply all the arrows. So I'll get P of even, P of A when even has occurred, P of E2, probability of A when E2 has occurred, plus probability of E3, probability of A when E3 has occurred. So you just have to put it in the formula and you will get the answer. Yeah, that's it. So using the diagram, we can solve the question in very quicker way. So that was it. So if you like this video, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss these kind of uh, videos. Yes, thank you.